Hey folks, Quiet Emerald here. For this video's small update, I have a new avatar. I got it off Etsy for a small price, and I think it's really cute. I'm really digging the 2D avatar style over the 3D. Enough about that though. Now onto the leeks or potatoes of this video. For this video, I'll be looking at the beloved indie game Limbo for the PC from Steam. I'm sure many folks have played this game or have seen it played. This recorded playthrough comes from my stream from a long time ago before I was a VTuber and when I was a silent streamer. The game was developed by the indie devs Playdead, who are from Denmark. They are known for Limbo and their more recent game, Inside. The game was published by Microsoft, who are known for Capitalism Gone Wild and eldritch horrors like Windows 11. I originally played Limbo around when it came out back in 2010, and in fact it was my first experience with an indie game. I remember like it was yesterday. I was browsing the Xbox Live Arcade and I came across Limbo, and after taking a gander at it, I decided it was worth my Microsoft points. So I picked it up and gave it a play, and I was heckin' hooked. I love the atmosphere, the art style, and the mechanics of the game. I beat it in one sitting and I found myself always going back to play it every now and then. This game set up my love and passion for indie games and the growing indie scene. I personally find the passion for gaming that was present back in the late 90s and early 2000s is still present in indie developers, especially given the state of AAA companies as of late, who have been consumed by pure greed. Sorry about that little rant, but I just had to get that off my chest. Back to the game at hand. The game's main character is a young boy. You don't know his name, you don't know his past, and you don't exactly know why he's here, aside from the game's description, which alludes to him entering Limbo so that he could search for his sister. Other than that, the story is told through the environment and mainly left up to interpretation, which I'm a big fan of. I think it is nice to learn the setting of a game sometimes through the environment and piecing it together bit by bit on your own. It also gets the community involved in trying to piece things together and coming up with fun theories. The world of Limbo is mainly abandoned and dilapidated. It seems to stretch from dark forests to forsaken swamps, urban ruins, and industrial machinery. This place isn't entirely abandoned though. There are inhabitants of Limbo. Other children seem to populate this place and are quite hostile towards the player. They set up traps and will outright chase the player at some points, trying to kill the player for unknown reasons. There are also creatures of various types, which include giant spiders, mind-controlling larvae, huge mosquitoes, and creepy but also kinda cute frogs. The gameplay is quite simple to control. You can run, jump, pull, and push things. Seems easy enough, eh? Well, you must use this simple set of skills to manipulate the world around you. The game starts off very simply, with running from danger, jumping over obstacles, and pushing things out of the way. As the game progresses, you'll find yourself solving puzzles. Puzzles that will be primarily physics-based, which I love. Ever since Half-Life and Portal, I've been a huge fan of physics-based puzzles that take advantage of the game engine. With Limbo's puzzles, you have to time certain things correctly, you must observe your surroundings, and use what tools you have available to overcome traps and obstacles. You can also use the enemies to your advantage in progressing through impassable areas. Overall, the gameplay is quite solid. It can be a bit tough at times with the puzzles, but once you try it enough times, it becomes quite apparent at what you're supposed to do. I absolutely adore the level design in this game. I love the overall aesthetic and the way levels are structured. The design of the levels and puzzles feel very organic and don't feel out of place. Normally in some games, puzzles kind of appear in a logic-defying manner, but with Limbo, though the logic-defying manner is still there in a sense, it fits within the game's logic and within the chaotic world of Limbo. Things that seem out of place or crazy in terms of architectural design fit perfectly at home here. The way the objects are set up in the game makes it easy to understand what you must do. It never feels like things blend in or are lost upon the player. At least for me, I found it to be that way. The level transition is also something that is nice. I love the way each area and level transition so seamlessly into one another. Even though the environments are quite separate in terms of aesthetic and sounds, they feel like they flow well together, and the player never fully notices these transitions, as they are so subtle. Overall, the story is more so an experience for the player, something for the player to interpret on their own, and recollect what that experience might mean for them. I love the character design in this game, even though there isn't much to the characters, just the simple design of having every character and enemy as a shadow within a shadowy world is just perfect. It is also noticeable that the other children in the game don't have eyes. The main character is the only one with visible eyes. This helps the player connect better to the main character, I would say. It even gives an unsettling vibe to the other children, as if they are soulless or have been here for so long in limbo that they have lost their humanity. This loss of humanity can be visible in the decoration of corpses they leave behind for the player to find. The game's graphics are very simple, yet very impactful. They show a world of gray and black. It feels like you're exploring through an actual nightmare. Some areas are entirely hostile in design, and other areas give time for the player to stop and take in the deafening silence of this dark world. The lighting makes the game feel very foggy and cloudy. It feels like the player has entered an entirely different world, one with some familiarity, but just alien enough to not feel at home. You truly feel alone in limbo, lost and helpless, looking for a sister who might not even be found. The sounds in this game are very ambient focused. You get sound effects from the environment around you, and it feels immersive. What is nice about Limbo is that the music is sparse, and the sounds are sparse as well. Most of the time it feels quiet and empty, and only occasionally do sounds echo throughout this landscape. The soundtrack in this game is such a treat. It mixes slow tunes with sound effects that correlate to the area. So, if you're in the forest, it'll sound like a mixture of the forest. If you're in a swamp, it'll sound like you're in the swamp, etc. If you're a big fan of indie games and want to play a classic indie title, I highly recommend this game. If you're a fan of puzzle games, then you'll most likely enjoy this game. Now we get to the part of the video where I talk about the good. The game has a unique art style, great mechanics, cool physics-oriented gameplay, otherworldly soundtrack, immersive sounds. The game is short but sweet. Now to talk about the wonk. The game is short, but still sweet. Thanks for watching, folks. This was a lot of fun to make. I'll try to make videos as often as I can. I don't want to burn myself out, so it will generally be some time in between videos. If you want to watch more of my content, just check out my channel. Or if you want to watch some more of my streams, check out my Twitch channel. Or, if you want to see some VODs, take a gander at my VOD channel. Until next time, be safe, take it easy, and see you soon. I'm hidden inside your sock drawer. I will steal all of your socks.